All right, Maya, be honest. How many books have you actually finished this year?
Okay, don't judge me. Two, maybe two and a half. One's still sitting on my nightstand with a bookmark that hasn't moved in a month.
See, that's exactly why we're doing this episode.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Maya.
And I'm Jade, and today we're talking about something so simple it almost sounds boring, but it genuinely works. Reading books daily to improve your English.
The most old school advice possible, and somehow still the best one.
We're bringing it back today. So let's start with the obvious question. Why reading specifically? People learn English from apps, shows, music, conversation practice. Why does reading deserve its own spotlight?
Because reading is the one activity where you get grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure all delivered together, in context, at your own pace. When you watch a show, the dialogue flies by. When you read, you can pause on a sentence as long as you want.
That pause matters more than people think. You actually get to notice how a sentence is built, not just what it means.
Exactly. And there's a difference between recognizing a word and actually owning it. Reading is what turns "I've seen that word before" into "I know exactly how to use that word."
It's kind of like the difference between hearing a song and learning to play it.
That's a great comparison. You can hum a song after hearing it once, but you can't actually play it until you sit with it, note by note. Reading is the note-by-note version of English.
Okay, so let's break down what daily reading specifically improves, because I don't think people realize it's doing like 4 things at once.
Right. First one, vocabulary, obviously, but not memorized vocabulary, contextual vocabulary. You learn a word by seeing how it behaves in a sentence, which sticks way better than flashcards ever do.
Flashcards teach you a word exists. Reading teaches you how it lives.
I love that. Second thing, sentence rhythm. Native-sounding English isn't just correct grammar, it's rhythm, where the pauses go, how clauses connect. You absorb that rhythm just by reading enough of it, almost without trying.
It's like your brain builds a pattern library in the background.
Exactly. And third, comprehension speed. The more you read, the less you translate in your head, and the more you just understand directly. That's honestly the biggest shift people notice.
And fourth?
Fourth is confidence. Once you've read enough, you stop hesitating before you speak, because your brain already has thousands of correct examples stored up to draw from.
Okay, real talk though. If reading is this good, why does almost everyone quit within a week?
Because they pick the wrong book. People start with something way above their level. A dense novel, a classic, something with vocabulary that makes every sentence feel like a puzzle.
And it just becomes exhausting instead of enjoyable.
Right, and exhausting things don't become daily habits. The book has to feel slightly challenging, not brutally difficult. You want to understand like 90% without a dictionary.
That 90% number is such a good rule of thumb, actually.
It really is. The second reason people quit is they treat it like homework, sitting down for an hour, forcing themselves through it. That's a recipe for burnout.
Versus,
Versus just 10, 15 minutes a day. Small and consistent beats long and occasional, every single time, especially for a language habit.
so let's get practical. If someone's listening right now and wants to start tonight, what's the actual method?
First, pick something you're genuinely interested in, not something you think you're supposed to read. If you love mystery novels, read a mystery novel. If you love self-help, read that. Interest keeps you coming back way more than importance does.
Motivation over obligation.
Always. Second, keep a tiny notebook or notes app open, and when you hit a word you don't know, jot it down, but don't stop reading to look it up immediately. Finish the page, then check it.
That keeps the flow going instead of turning every paragraph into a dictionary session.
Exactly. Third, reread. It sounds counterintuitive, but rereading a book you've already read once, but this time in English, is incredible for building fluency because you already know the story, so you can focus entirely on the language.
Oh, that's smart. No plot pressure, all language focus.
Exactly. And fourth, read out loud sometimes, even just a paragraph a day. It trains your mouth and your ear at the same time as your eyes.
Triple win in one habit.
That's the goal.
I think what I love most about this whole idea is how invisible the progress is day to day, but how obvious it becomes over months.
That's so true. Nobody finishes one chapter and suddenly speaks better English, but 3 months of 15 minutes a day quietly rewires how your brain processes the language. And one day you just realize you're not translating anymore. You're just understanding.
It's such a quiet kind of progress.
It really is. And honestly, that's why most people underestimate it. It doesn't feel dramatic while it's happening, so people give up right before it would have paid off.
Which is honestly the most important thing to say out loud in this whole episode.
Consistency over intensity. Every time.
All right, so if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I want to start, here's the tiny plan. Pick a book you're actually excited about. Read for just 10 to 15 minutes daily, jot down new words without breaking your flow, and reread favorites when you can.
And give it 3 months before you judge it, not 3 days.
3 months, not 3 days. That's going on a sticky note somewhere.
It should be. All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode.
Thanks for listening. And hey, maybe go pick up that book on your nightstand tonight.
No judgment. We're all a little behind on our reading. See you next time.